What's going on, everybody? My name is Ben, and welcome back to the bench for another episode of our F-86 Sabre here on Rivals and Adversaries. Today we're going to go ahead and move on where we left off from the last episode, and we're going to continue with the cockpit. So let's go ahead and dive in here, guys. Waste no time. Last episode we went ahead and worked on the photo etch there for the seat. We have that mostly built up. There's a couple of pieces we have to go ahead and still install on that, but for the most part, it's coming along. We also want to go ahead and start painting everything as well here in the cockpit, and I'm pretty sure that we're going to use a flat black here for the seat itself, then with some gray accents there and a red headrest. For the cockpit tub, we'll use that same gray color, and we'll come in with some flat black for the side consoles, instrument panel, and all that jazz. So I think we are going to jump in here to our first time lapse. Let's start having some fun, guys. We've got some PE to continue with, we've got some painting, we've got some wires to go ahead and add in there on the seat, detail painting, finished off with a little bit of Tamiya panel line accent, just to go ahead and get everything to pop. Let's go ahead and jump in here, guys. Let's start that time lapse. Let's have some fun. All right, everybody, we are back, and so far the cockpit is coming along. We have everything mostly painted in its basic colors. I'm happy about that. We still have to come back in though and seal everything, but we'll go ahead and let all this cure before we come back and do that. Now, I have been kind of contemplating doing some fun things. Got our seatbelts, of course. I painted those in OD green, so that looks pretty good. But I'm actually kind of wondering, maybe I should add in like a little helmet or something. This is actually the head of the pilot here out of the F-86. He's not using it, so I might as well give it a shot. I can just auger out his face, and then I can just drop that right on the seat cushion. Might be kind of fun to do. I also have made a couple of wires here. We've got a twisted O2 hose that I can go ahead and glue in there onto the seat. And I think ultimately it's going to actually add a little bit of life and interest to the model. Let's get you a close-up here, guys, and you can see some of the detail. So far, the cockpit's coming together. We've got that flat black there on the different parts and pieces. We have that accent of the gray color. I tried to go ahead and dry brush the detail that I had just to make that pop. We've got our PE parts there on the instrument panel, as well as that little photo behind it for all the gauges. Looks okay. It's not perfect, but I think it'll work. We've added some red for different accents on the switches, and I think ultimately it does look like a Sabre cockpit, so I'm pretty happy with it. The seat itself, I did add a seat cushion, and you can kind of go either way with that. I've seen some references show a seat cushion, other references show no seat cushion, so I just went with it. Why not, right? The headrest I went ahead and painted red because that's what the actual references of the Huff show, so that's pretty good. And as you can see, it drops right into place, and I think it looks pretty cool. Eventually I'll come back though and I'll flat coat everything, and then I'll put a little bit of future and make sure to go ahead and gloss up the dials on the instrument panel, and I think we'll be ready to go ahead and install this into the fuselage. Of course, we can go ahead and dry fit that into one of the fuselage halves, and you can kind of get an idea of how this is going to look. All painted up. Looks pretty cool. It's not perfect, mind you, but it's going to pass. Now, I actually had a little bit of trouble selecting the paint for the cockpit. We did go ahead and go with the black and gray paint scheme. I actually thought it was black and like an interior green, so I was very well surprised when I went ahead and read that. I've heard some people say that the cockpit is all flat black. Other people say it's like what I have here, like a two-tone with flat black panels and whatnot, and then we have the gray for the base, sidewalls, and the chair. I actually found a couple of references that showed the chair to be all black, so that's what I went ahead and did, and I went with the red headrest because that's what my references show for this particular aircraft. I don't know how accurate this really is, but I like it. It's looking the part. Next episode, we'll have to come back and work a little bit more there on that rear decking. There's some photo etch we need to go ahead and build up, some wires and whatnot, some tracks. Of course, we have got our seat belts to put in. We've got all our different hoses and whatnot that we want to go ahead and add in on the seat itself. So I think we are looking pretty good to go ahead and call it quits for today. So until our next episode, guys, make sure to run over to Joe's channel, check out his MiG-15. I know he is doing a bang up job on it so far. I know it's given him a little bit of some trouble. But until our next episode, guys, you know the drill. Go out there, get yourself some bench time, have some fun, build something cool, and we'll see you back here on episode number 4 for Rivals and Adversaries here on Ben Builds. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Take care, and we'll see you soon.